Hey guys, this weekend I was reading a blog from a very dear friend of mine, and as I was reading it, I was like, this is a psalm. And I know that might sound really strange, but let me explain. So, the beginning of the blog was sort of a just a declaration of this person's status at the moment, like really sad and troubled, and just sort of feeling down and openly expressing that. And so several lines and paragraphs down, that's how it went. And then all of a sudden, like, something happens in the middle of the blog, and there's like this shift, and there and enters in sort of this kind of hopefulness. It's sort of like, as you're reading this blog, and you sense the sadness, all of a sudden you can sense that something has changed in the heart of this person. And then the remaining bit of the blog of her text was much more hopeful and optimistic. And it might just be that like stuck out to me, because last year I had to write a paper in graduate school on the Psalms of Lament. And I don't know if you are, aware of all the Psalms in Scripture, but many of them are called Psalms of Praise, and many of them are called Psalms of Lament, and quite a few of them are lament songs, psalms, which are actually, they were originally sung by the people of Israel. And the whole point of a Psalm of Lament is just the honesty that the Israel people, the children of God, got to um, got to express towards their Abba Father. And I thought that is how we should live. I learned so much about writing that paper, because basically sometimes we think that if we're not having a good day, or if things are hard, or if we're kind of down, that somehow that makes us like less spiritual or less holy, or less just loving or something. But actually, God gave us the Psalms to show us an example of what just pure devotion to him looks like, and also what humanity looks like. And so and it really allows us to see that God invites us to bring our complaints, to bring our struggles, to bring our woes to him, because Israel and, like, New Testament Christians, we are in a covenant with him. And sort of this process of lament is sort of bringing an injustice to God in your life. Like, something is wrong, something is troubling you, something is making you very sad, very fearful. And the Psalms were a way of God's people just singing back to him, this is how I'm feeling. This is who you say you are, God. Like, are you who you say you are? Because we are helpless without you helping us. And basically, it's, God is just so pleased when we remember who he has already said he is to us and for us. And so this kind of cycle goes on in these Psalms of Lament. It's really funny, and I'm going to read one to you. It's called, in academic language, it's the plea praise cycle. And so you will see Israel, when they recorded these, that they would go from a plea, like something is desperate, to a praise, and then back to a plea, and then to a praise. And if you guys, that might sound familiar to you right now, because you probably, every day, with everything that's going on right now, you feel like sometimes you wake up and you're happy, and sometimes you wake up and you're angry, sad, ticked off, worried, fearful. And then all of a sudden you have a great breakfast, but then you go for a run and you feel good, but then all of a sudden by lunchtime you're sinking again. And God is saying, look, go to the Psalms. This is how my people are able to communicate with me their feelings and their expectations of me to save them. And so, just a really funny one, Psalm 139. A lot of you guys will know this one. It starts with, Lord, you have searched me and known me. So basically, the first part of Psalm 139 is God's people saying, God, you know me, you made me. You know when I sit down and when I stand up. You understand my thoughts from afar. You observe my travels and my rest. You are aware of all my ways. Basically, they're reminding God, you made me from dust. You know every single thing about me. So I'm looking to you as my help. And it just says, verse 6, this wondrous knowledge is beyond beyond me. It is lofty. I am unable to reach it. And so the psalmist goes on and goes on. And then it's kind of funny, even within the same psalm, you see this like shift in emotion. And so if you look at, so right before verse 17, God, how precious your thoughts are to me, how vast their sum is. If I counted them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I wake up, I am still with you. So we're like, yay, like we're in such a good mood, we're in a good place. And then all of a sudden, verse 19, this is like the psalmist getting real. It literally, he or she literally says, God, if only you would kill the wicked. You bloodthirsty men, stay away from me, who invoke you deceitfully. Your enemies swear by you falsely. Lord, don't I hate those who hate you and detest those who rebel against you? I hate them with extreme hatred. I consider them my enemies. And we're like, what? Why? How can the psalmist in like the same breath be praising God, being like, I know you love me. I know you made me. I know you see everything about me. And then just like shift right into this complaint. And then right after that, it's almost like the psalmist, because they have been able to have an honest confrontation with God. Like, God, I can't do this without you. I have enemies that are trying to attack me. I have people that I don't like that are not living according to your way. They're not leading according to your way. Maybe they're in your house. Maybe they're in your government. And, the psalmist is properly complaining about them. And then almost there's like a conviction of, whew, I'm glad I got that off my chest. And then because the psalmist then goes straight into, right after just complaining about their enemies, verse 23, search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my concerns. See if there is any offensive way in me. Lead me in the everlasting way. And I just think that's so cool, because we do not need to pretend that we're okay right now if we're not okay. And we need to allow these plea, praise, emotions to kind of cycle through our day, because God says, guess what? When maybe in this example, you start and you praise me and you declare who I am, and you say, tell God like that we are your children, and that we are loved by you, and we know that you are great, and we know you are a helper. And then just say what's on your heart. Like, be real with him. It doesn't offend him. He already can read your mind anyway. And then somehow when we do that, somehow when we vent that frustration, then he allows us to come back to that place of, okay, I feel a little bit better. God, maybe there's something in me that I need to kind of let go, that's causing me this frustration and this pain. And then it just says, search me and know me, and show me if there's something that needs to go, and lead me in the way everlasting. Just lead me in the way, God, that you want me to walk in. And so this is just an awesome psalm. Go to any of the psalms. There's so many psalms of lament where Jesus just gives us permission to feel and to pray and to speak our minds very directly with him, and he is the best person to do that with. So have a great day, and I will see you again tomorrow. God bless.